Hello everybody! Today we're going to unbox and take a close look at the Nike Air Max 1 Essential. So let's just take a look around the outside of the box. So in this box is a pair of Nike Air Max 1 Essential shoes, and this pair is the men's UK size 8.5, US 9.5, Europe 43, Brazil 41, 27.5 cm, and this pair is in the Anthracite black green strike colourway. And now let's go ahead and open up the box by lifting up the box lid. And let's peel back the packing paper or wrapping paper to reveal the Nike Air Max 1 Essential in the Anthracite black green strike colourway. Let's lift out the left shoe first and focus in on its details. I'm just setting the box on the left hand side of the tabletop and giving you a look at this Nike Air Max 1 Essential. Let's do a 360 rotation before we take much closer in looks at its details. And now taking a much closer in look at its details so we can see the overall dark colour of the upper and the various panels with the various materials making up the upper of the shoe. So there is synthetic leather for the mudguard of the shoe, and you can see there is that fine graining texture to that synthetic leather with that low gloss sheen to it as well, and with the nylon mesh in that anthracite or dark grey colour. And then there is that suede black eye stay or quarter panel, as well as this under panel between the mesh and the eye stay. So you can see right across the various panels and overlays making up the upper of the shoe. And with the midsole, there is a firm midsole in black, and as we move towards the back or quarter or midfoot area, we can see this bright green or green strike Nike swoosh sandwich between the eye stay quarter panel and the heel panel right there, and there's a little touch of green strike for the top eye hole or eyelet of the eye stay or collar of the shoe. And looking at the heel, we can see there is a Nike Max Air cushioning airbag there, and right through we can see right across, of course, with that visible airbag, and inside of it we can see that green stripe or dark green color of it. So the structure of the airbag in green, and as we move towards the back and the heel of the shoe, we can see once again the various compositions of the various materials with the anthracite mesh, black suede, and the embroidered green strike Nike Air branding, and of course the synthetic leather for that heel counter right there. And as we turn towards the inner side of the shoe, we can see once again a continuation of those panels and overlays, and of course that Max Air cushioning in the heel of the shoe. So back towards the mid part and front of the shoe, we can see once again the various textures and details making up the dark upper of the shoe. Now taking a look directly from the tip, toe or front of the shoe and moving slowly along towards the back of the shoe, so you can see those details. in its entirety. Now with the tongue, we can see that high contrast green strike Nike Air Max branding on that square patch tongue label in black. Let's pop out the paper stuffing so we can see the details around the inside of the shoe more clearly. So with the tongue, it is thin and lightly padded. And taking a look on the back side of the tongue, we can see the tongue label with the Nike size and product details. And with the texture or lining, you can see that there is a fabric lining in black, and of course the edges with that nylon finish or mesh finish. And for the ankle and heel collar, it is thin to medium in thickness, and it does have a firm level of bolstering or padding, but starting thinly from the sides and then just about thickening to the sides and the front. And giving you a look around the inside details, we can see the material sticker on the sock liner, as well as the Nike Air branding details in that green strike on black. So they're giving you another perspective of the inside details of the shoe. And a further out look. And now taking a look at the sole of the shoe, we can see the black and anthracite or grey details making up the rubber waffle sole. And we can see white specks dotted right across the entirety of this rubber waffle sole. So you can see flecks of white right throughout. And to give you some sense of this rubber waffle sole, just dragging my finger along its surface and tapping with my fingernail as well. And now let's do a flexibility, bend and twist test with my hands to give you some sense of the shoe's firmness, stiffness, pliability or softness. Now stretching and popping the shoe back in shape. Now let's take a look at the right shoe of this Nike Air Max 1 Essential. So just setting the left shoe down and in the background as we bring the box back in frame. And popping out the right shoe. Closing the box back down and setting it back on the left hand side of the tabletop. And now taking a look at the right shoe of this Nike Air Max 1 Essential in the Anthracite black green stripe colorway. And let's do a 360 rotation with this side as well. And of course, a close-up look at its details. So once again we see that low sheen gloss synthetic leather mudguard contrasting against that grey or anthracite mesh for the toe box area or vamp. And of course we see those short nap suede coarse Once again, short nap suede panels making up the eye stay and quarter panels, and those high contrast details with that green strike Nike swoosh on both sides of the shoe and the tongue as well, and of course on the back with that Nike Air embroidered on that suede panel at the heel. And of course, taking a look at the inside details of the shoe, just popping out the paper stuffing in there and giving you a look right across. Of the inside details of the shoe. And of course, taking a look at the sole, so once again we see that anthracite and black details making up the rubber waffle sole, and once again flecked with those white spots right across the sole. And now let's take a look at the pair together side by side. And from the front to the back. Directly from the back. Top down. And the soles or bottoms of the shoes. So that's the Nike Air Max 1 Essential. Thanks for watching and happy walking!